The hadith of Tamim al-Dari. فَيَنْطَلِقُ إِلَيْهِ مَلَكَ الْمَوْتِ فِي أَقْرَهِ صُورَةٍ رَآهَا أَحَدٌ مِّنَ النَّاسِ قَطٌّ. That the angel of death goes to this dying man in the most awful of forms which anybody has ever seen. له 12 عينا. It has 12 eyes. معه سفود من نار كثير الشوك. It brings with it, the angel of death brings with him a forked iron rod made out of fire. ومعه 500 من الملائكة. 500 angels black of face. And these angels do not bring the sweet smelling bouquet of flowers as they did with the believer. معهم نحاس وجمر من جمر جهنم ومعهم سيات من نار. They bring with them copper, embers of the fire of hell, and they bring whips made out of fire. This is how the angel of death and his army come to this dying person. Once Sayyidina Ibrahim radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the hadith reported by Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, asked the angel of death, show me the form that you assume at the time of taking out the good soul and at the time of taking out the bad soul. He first asked, أرني كيف تقبض روح المؤمن. Show me the form that you assume at the time of taking out a good soul. The angel of death told Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, اصرف وجهك عني. Turn your face away. The angel of death changed its form. When Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam looked at the angel of death, he saw a very handsome young man, beautiful of face. His face has nur, white clothes, and with a beautiful smell. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam said to the angel of death, كي لو لم يلقى المؤمن من السرور شيئا سوى وجهك لكفى. That if a believer is deprived of every blessings, every ni'mah, every pleasure at the time of his death, just you coming in this beautiful and very handsome form is an adequate compensation. Then Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam said, أرني كيف تقبض روح الكافر. Show me how the form that you come when you take the soul of a kafir, of a non-believer. The angel of death said, O Ibrahim, لا تطيق ذلك. You will not be able to bear to see me in this form. Arini. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam insisted. The angel of death said, yet again, اصرف وجهك عني. Turn your face away for a short while. And the angel of death changed its form. What does Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam see? He sees a man black of face. رجلاه في الأرض ورأسه في السماء. His feet are on dunya and his head is in the heaven. With the most awful of smells coming from him. Fire leaping from his nose and coming out of his mouth. His body hair are like men. His body covered with hair, and his hair are like men, each with fire coming out of his ears and come out of his nose and his mouth. His body hair are like men. His body covered with hair, and his hair are like men, each with fire coming out of his ears and come out of his nose and his mouth. When Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam saw the angel of death in this form, he could not bear it, and Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam fainted. When he came round, the angel of death had changed its form. And he said to the angel of death, لو لم يلقى الكافر سوى نظرة إلى شخصك لكفى. That if a kafir, if there is no punishment for a kafir at the time of his death, or angel of death, just your coming in this form is sufficient to cause his death. The great Imam al-Qurtubi in his work التذكرة في أهوال الموتى والآخرة writes كأن ملك الموت تفزع منه الملائكة أشد من فزع أحدكم من السبع. That I have been informed that all the angels fear the angel of death more than one of you fears a lion, fears a beast. The angel of death comes to him in this form. Fire coming out of his nose, fire coming out of his mouth, black of face, with a forked iron rod in his hand made out of fire, accompanied by 500 angels black of face, with embers of fire, copper, and whips of fire. And when they come to this dying person, They do not greet him, Assalamu alayka ya wali Allah, as was the case with the believer. The angel of death strikes him with his forked iron rod. He gives him such a beating that it pierces his body, and the forks enter every vein and every joint. ثم يلويه ليا شديدا, and then the angel of death begins to twist it and turn it whilst it's inside his body. Just imagine a prickly thorn inside your body from your head to your feet, and the thorns inside your veins and inside your joints. In every vein, every joint, there are thorns, and then somebody comes and begins to turn and twist it inside your body. How much pain will one feel at that time? It is undescribable. The angel of death will turn this forked iron rod inside his body so he feels pain. And then he will begin to take out his soul, beginning from his toes, and he will stop it at his feet. فَيَذْكُرْ عَدُوُّ اللَّهِ إِنَّ ذَلِكَ سَكَّرًا, and the body will swoon. And the angels that have come with him, وَتَضْرِبُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَجْهَهُ وَدُبَرَهُ بِتِلْكَ السِّيَاقِ, the angels that have come with him will begin to beat him with the whips of fire that they have brought with them. Then the angel of death will begin to take out the soul from the ankles and stop at his knees. The body will swoon. وَتَضْرِبُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَجْهَهُ وَدُبَرَهُ بِتِلْكَ السِّيَاقِ, and the angels will beat him. And then he will take it out from his knees to his waist. The body will swoon and the angels will beat him. Then from his waist to his chest, the body will swoon and the angels will beat him. And he will keep on stopping it at every joint so that the body feels more pain. Then they will place the embers of fire on the copper under his neck. And the angel of death will say, اخرجي أيتها النفس اللعينة الملعونة إلى سموم وحميم وظل من يحموم لا بارد ولا كريم. O cursed soul, come out to the fire of hell. Come out to a place where there is scorching wind, scalding water, and shadow of black smoke, which is no cool, no refreshing.